Ethan, joining the show now. You haven't seen me this excited for an interview in a long time. About 3 months ago, we were perusing the interwebs and came across a lady named Metaphysical Meagan on Instagram, and she went wildly viral for her stance on butthole tanning. And guess who's on the phone? It's Metaphysical Meagan.
Wow.
Hey, Megan.
Hey, Megan.
Hi.
How are you
guys today? I'm great. How are you?
We are fantastic. We appreciate you doing the interview. And my first question is, what's up with the butthole tanning?
Well, this is just a practice that I've been doing for a little while now, and I guess the internet thought it was interesting and decided to make it go viral. So it's just a part of my daily routine and lifestyle, and I guess it's pretty strange to some people.
Follow-up question, why butthole tanning?
Yeah, so just I found that through connecting with the sun in this way, my body has experienced a lot of just different benefits that are overall positive and connect me more with myself and more with nature. So I would say that just to keep it short.
What are the benefits, though?
Yeah, so for me, I used to drink a lot of coffee.
Right.
Be really dependent on coffee to kind of get my day going. But with this, I found this is a more natural way to get kind of an energy rush and just feel some natural sustained energy, especially in the morning time. And it's helped a lot with my sleep cycle and helping with my just mental clarity and focus, has helped with my just reproductive system. So for me, I've experienced, a lot of pain around my cycle, and this is something that's helped alleviate some of that and kind of create just a regulation of hormones in my body.
So I'm hearing a lot of I and me. So you're not saying like everybody should do this necessarily, but it's worked for you.
Yeah, so I'm just sharing my own experience. I can't speak for other people. I think it's something that, can benefit everybody if they feel called to do it. So the best way to experience this is through a personal experience and see, how your body responds to it. So I would say it's definitely something that can be beneficial, but I can only share my own personal experience with it.
Now, I've seen photos and videos of you. You are fair-skinned like I am. My concern, when I go out in the sun for the first, big summer day, I get one of them sunburns, you see, and I got to put on the SPF.
I know what you're going to ask here.
Yeah, are you worried, and have you encountered sunburn, in the butthole?
Yeah, absolutely not. So the ideal time to do this is in the morning between 7 and 9 a.m. when the sun isn't quite as strong. And two, the duration of time that you're spending out there with your perineum exposed to the sun matters. So it's a short amount of time. It's anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes. So, if you were to do any longer than that, I could see that potentially, being a negative experience, but I haven't experienced that at all. I'm actually kind of anti-sunscreen just because of all the chemicals in it. Yeah, I would say sunburn is not an issue if you're being conscious of how long you're spending in the sun.
This is fascinating stuff for me. At Metaphysical Meagan on Instagram, and in researching you, basically when I say research, just following your Instagram page, I feel very much as if you're in a transitional positivity stage in your life. I see that you lost weight. You're a fitness person now. You lost a significant amount of weight. You do a lot of fitness things. What triggered the fitness and the butthole tanning and all this positivity?
You have to call it that.
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say, my journey began like many years ago. But for me, just being out in nature in our natural state is something that has kind of connected me back to just the nature of my soul. And not to get too woo-woo, but this is just who I am, and discovering kind of ancient or, not mainstream things has, brought me a lot of joy and just connection with myself.
Where do you live?
I lived in Joshua Tree for a little while, but I'm still in California. I live in Menifee, California, so kind of out in the desert.
Okay, and the burning question.
Yeah.
So that helps. You're kind of you're set far away from other people when you do the butthole tanning, because Ethan was asking me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't recommend you do this at like a Circle K or a Wawa parking lot.
Right. I would recommend doing this just in a nature setting where there's not going to be a lot of people, and where and nature is ideally a better place rather than just kind of somewhere in the middle of the city.
And I didn't get to watch your entire video on sexuality, your most recent one, but what are your feelings on your own personal sexuality?
Yeah, so I think our connection to our sexuality connects us directly to the divine, God, source, whatever name you want to call it. I think connecting with our sexuality in a positive way brings us back to just the knowing that we are divine beings, and it is a state where you can experience higher states of consciousness through that connection to our creative or our life force energy.
Now, let me ask you this.
Sexual energy.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Metaphysical Meagan joining the show. Let me ask you this. So you openly speak about your sexuality. You are a very attractive young lady. You do the butthole tanning, and you do all of this on the internet. I have to imagine you've had some odd, weirdo mail. Tell us about the creeps that have messaged you.
I've attracted a lot of creepy people, but I tend to not really focus on that and just focus on, sharing my message, which is just being my authentic self, and, wanting to show people that a lot of what we're taught around sexuality has been kind of distorted and perverted. So I'm trying to bring a more holistic understanding of our sexuality and how it can benefit us and help us just to be better humans. So, I've definitely attracted a lot of creeps.
Anybody stand out? Any message in particular?
Yeah, a lot of people just ask me odd questions like, if they can see pictures of my tan butthole, which that's not the point. Like, I'm not going outside to get, actually get a tan. It's more for the energetic and kind of spiritual benefits.
Sure.
So those are kind of the more weird things that people have asked.
Well, understandably. I mean, it's not understandable, but people are weird.
There are a lot of freaks. A lot of freaks.
We know we get a lot of mail and people reacting to things that we do. So this is wild stuff. Normally I would kind of poo-poo your entire message, but I think I'm digging what you're putting out into the world there. You're saying this is what's working for me. I'm Metaphysical Meagan. I tan my butthole. Sexuality. Let's do this. Let's get out in nature. I dig it.
Yeah. Just me sharing my authentic self, and if people like it, great. If people don't, I'm going to keep doing it.
Is there anything, any other advice around the butthole tanning that you might want to give our listeners that we haven't covered?
Yeah, just get naked in nature. That's probably my bigger message rather than trying the butthole sunning, but just being naked in nature is our natural state, and it feels really good. So if it interests you, go out and try it. Can't hurt, just have an experience.
Now, I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to ask it straight out. Would you consider yourself a modern day hippie?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People, I definitely poke fun at that, and I know that I'm very much against the grain or against the mainstream, so being called a hippie is definitely not a negative connotation or a negative word in my opinion. Metaphysical Meagan, you're a pleasure. You're a delight. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Yeah, absolutely. It was awesome. Great. We appreciate you coming on. And enjoy the sun this morning. Wait, did you do it yet this morning? I haven't yet. The sun's not out, so. Oh, right. You're in California. Stay in here, yeah. So not yet. Well, good luck this morning, okay? And have a great day. You too. Thanks for having me, Lou. You got it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Whatever does it for you is what I say. I feel like the Walter Cronkite of butts, Yeah. So straight.